everyone, welcome back to the channel and another vlog. I have been in the house all day long and I decided to come out, grab some dinner. I first stopped at Cheesecake, and if you're familiar with cheesecake, then you will know that the wait time at cheesecake is always ridiculous, and tonight was no different. So plan B, I am actually on my way to Flemming's Steakhouse. They didn't have a wait, so that is where I am on the way to. I just wanted to come in, pop in right quick and say hey to y'all, and I will pull you guys up a little bit later.
Good morning, everyone. It's been a couple of days since the last clip where I went out to dinner. I think that I was served some cheap liquor when I went to Flemming's. I got home that night. Stomach wasn't feeling quite settled. Food was good though. The food was good. I had 2 cocktails the other night. I had a French 75 and then I had a Moscow Mule. So nothing really crazy, nothing heavy, but the last couple of days I just I wasn't feeling myself. So now that I'm past that, today my plan is to start my herbal tinctures. A couple of videos ago I showed you guys my home apothecary and all of the herbs that I have collected so far that's in my apothecary. So one of the things I'm going to make today, or get started today rather, is going to be a holy basil tincture. And I want to start some herbal infusions for a couple of skin salves that I'm going to make. One of the skin salves is going to be calendula, and then the other skin salve is going to be linden. So I'm going to sit here, finish the little bit of coffee that I had with my breakfast today, and then I'll meet you guys in the kitchen. The first thing that we're going to start together is going to be my holy basil tincture. Before we get started with that, know that it's important to make sure that your utensils are clean, your surfaces are clean, and your vessels are clean. So I have wiped down all of my surfaces, and I have sterilized the containers that I'm going to be using today. That's very important because we don't want to waste our medicinal, our medicine. We don't want to waste it, and we don't want to introduce anything that's going to interfere or mess up the finished product. So guys, make sure that your surfaces are clean and that your jars or whatever you're going to use, those things are sterilized. Now, for my holy basil tincture, I'm going to be making a small quantity. I'm going to be using this 8-ounce glass. I like to start out with a small quantity. This is going to be enough for me, but you are more than welcome to double this recipe and make as much as you need and make the quantity that works for you. So I have an 8-ounce jar. Here I have my dried holy basil, and you want to use a 80 proof vodka. So I'm using Kettle One vodka. You don't have to use a very expensive vodka. You do want to use something that is mid-range, I would say, just because you're going to taste it and you're going to put this into the medicine that you're making. So you don't have to use top shelf, but you don't want to use the cheapest. Now, we have our jar, we have our basil, and we have our vodka. So for this size jar, I'm actually going to fill this halfway. I'm going to fill this halfway with the holy basil, and the other half I'm going to fill with the vodka. Now, based on the research that I've done and the reading that I've been doing, you want to fill this up halfway. One, because the dried herb that we're going to be using is going to grow in volume as it sits in the alcohol. So it's going to absorb it, and it's going to get larger, which means it's going to take up more space. We don't want to fill this because we need to have room for the alcohol, and once we have the alcohol in here, we want to be able to leave room so that we can shake it, because we are going to shake this periodically throughout the course of us making it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my herbs in here, and then I'll add the vodka. And don't you love my little measuring spoon? I got this last year. Isn't it so cute? Adding just a little bit more because I'm not quite at the halfway point. So this is what I have. This is about halfway. And I'm gonna top this off. Well, not top it off, but because again, we're not filling this up all the way. lid is on, putting on the lid. All right, and the beginning of our herbal tincture is done. Now we're gonna move on to making the herbal infusions, which are gonna be the base for our skin salves. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an herbal infusion with calendula, comfrey, and linden. For that, we're also going to be using dried herbs, and we're going to use extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to get this cleaned up, and then we'll come back and we'll go ahead and start our infusions. What I have here is comfrey leaf. This is dried, crushed comfrey leaf. We have calendula, and we have our linden. Now I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil to start my infusions. And if you're interested, the brand I'm using is just Kirkland's, but it is organic. So it is important that you use a good organic olive oil. Now for this recipe is just slightly different because these are dried flowers. We're gonna use just a little bit more than what we use with the dried linden. So for each one of these infusions, I'm gonna fill the jars up about 2/3 of the way. Maybe better just to use my hand with this one. Again, hands are clean, surfaces are clean. Trying not to spill. And I didn't mention it, but this glass container is about 8.5 ounces. That looks about right to me. And we're gonna pour our olive oil right over it. And I'm gonna fill this up a little bit more. So we're gonna stop right there. Again, I'm not filling it up because I want to leave space so that I'm able to come back and mix it periodically. All right, so let's put that to the side. 2 down, 2 more to go. We're going to make our comfrey leaf infusion. Repeating the same steps as before, just gonna top it off with my extra virgin olive oil. I don't know if you guys can see the air bubbles. So this is just settling down, and I'm gonna add a little bit more. The oil is just filling all of the cracks and the air pockets in the comfrey. Okay. Here we go. Our comfrey infusion. And last, our linden. Now, I don't really want this quantity of it, so I'm not going to fill this 2/3 of the way. That's all that I want. I think that I want as far as the linden goes. Okay. And here is our linden infusion. So we have our holy basil tincture started, our comfrey leaf infusion, our linden infusion, and our calendula infusion. So the last step for me is going to be to label these so I will know what they are. I'll do that off camera. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I enjoyed making this, and I'll see you next week. Bye.